Hi guys, welcome to our channel. I'm Blue
And I'm Flora.
and we are the Little Light Twins.
What were you talking about again? I don't know.
Where's the ball?
This is our first YouTube video. Well, it may not be the first video we post, but it's definitely our first attempt at making a YouTube video. This has been in the works or in the running or in the mind anyways for a very long time. And I just feel like we've postponed the idea of creating one for a very long time because
Very long time. It's been around 6 years. We've thought about this since like uni times, really.
Yeah, and many people used to tell us like, "Oh, you guys should do a channel. You should do a channel," but we just never sat down and actually created a video.
Yeah.
Most of that is due to shyness or fear of being seen.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I just feel like we're not very talkative people, and we also wondered like, what would we talk about? But then when we really sit down and think about it, we have a lot of conversations between each other, important conversations as well, which I think could benefit others.
Yeah. And we've always been like creative mindset people. Like we've always been creators in that sense because like since like a really young age, I just remember us watching a video and thinking, "Oh my god, that's so good! Let's do it!" And we'd
recreate
literally like
it.
recreate the video.
But the only difference is we wouldn't recreate it for in front of a camera. We just recreate it for
Exactly.
ourselves. Like for example, with music, we'd always recreate the dance routines, and
We actually have an old YouTube channel where we were dancing. It was like 2 videos, I think, or a few videos.
Yeah.
But we just started posting when we were younger because it was just intriguing to us. We just
Yeah.
liked that whole world of like, being vulnerable on camera and just like showing yourself out there to people. But not in that way. Not
not
one
the
of those-
vulnerability of
Yeah.
it, but just the idea of putting these amazing things out there,
Yeah.
having people look at content like ours and being inspired the way we were to just get up and start dancing or get up and start doing whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't think this channel will contain any dancing from us.
It could though. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. Things
Never
can
say
change.
never.
And we actually do like dancing. Like we like a lot of things. We like to dance. We like to sing. I'm not saying we're the best dancers. We're the best singers. But we have a lot of ideas, and I just want us to be able to be open and just to try anything that we want to try. Just be open to being ourselves, really. Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like this is also going to help us with our own self-confidence, like behind the camera. If you're able to do something like this and get it out there, you're opening yourself up to a lot of potential criticism from strangers and stuff like that. And in our day-to-day lives, we're not even confrontational people. Like I said, we're not even talkative. So I feel like this is going to help us develop that side of ourselves that we've been kind of hiding and keeping away from people for a long time.
It's actually funny that you say like you're not a talkative person because to me, like she's very talkative, like very expressive. But what she means is basically we spend like 8 hours of our lives outside of our home, working, just outside of the house, basically, not really being with the people that you can be yourself around.
Yeah.
So yeah, most of the time I'm silent as well, like very quiet. Like people would probably describe us as very quiet people outside of our houses, but those who actually know us know that we have a lot to say. And I would say like she knows more about me than anyone else would know on this earth.
Yeah, and it's good to have a person that you can be fully yourself to, but to some extent, sometimes that can also be a hindrance because now you feel like I at least have that one safe space, so it's okay to kind of hide the real me from everyone else. Not that we feel like it's okay. Part of me feels like I'm too scared to do that, to take that step to do that. So long as I have that safe space.
That is
here.
such a good point. Like there's just so much comfort in just knowing that at least there's one person out there who keeps a good record of who you are. And I can trust that the image that she has in her head of me is a good image. So sometimes there's just too much safety in there as well, and you just withdraw from the world in a way. So yeah, it's important to kind of have a good balance between the two.
Yeah,
And I think this will really like open us up.
Yeah,
Well, we've always been like open people, but yeah.
we're open to each other. We're not open to everyone else. That's
You
the
think?
thing. I think we're open to some extent to our friends,
Yeah.
but even they only know us to a certain level, but they know us more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Still, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But and I think we also do too much self-reflection, which is a great thing, because you know, whenever we mess up, we're able to tell each other like, hey, listen, at this moment you said the wrong thing. But also that can also cause a lot of anxiety now in social situations. You'll remember like, oh, remember she said I said the wrong thing this time. So now when you're outside, you don't want to say the wrong thing again. But the thing is, life is about trial and error. Even though you said the wrong thing this time, it's important to remember it, but not hide away from it.
Yeah.
But just remember yourself and try and do better the next time, rather than remember it and say, I'm just not going to say anything. Because a lot of times I feel like, you know what, I'm just not going to say anything because I said something wrong this time, you know?
Another good thing about us is we're in agreement in a lot of things. You know, like for example, for this channel, we agreed that we wanted to kind of help people just love themselves deeply from within, and just to get to know who you really are, and just be happy with who you become, or who you are becoming, or who you are every day. I don't know how to kind of word that, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
We want to, especially those people who can relate with the kind of people that we are, and you know how the things that we go through in life have kind of resulted in who we are becoming now. We want to help those people who are still forming and shaping who they are, and still interested in their self-development, to just know that it's okay, there's other people going through it, and you know, you do come out at the other side, and it's okay to keep trying. Yeah, I think what I'm most passionate about is just like letting people know that it's okay to have those weird...
I honestly want to find those people as well who like feel the same, because who knows, we might not be the only ones who are like this, you know. And I know there's like different versions of everyone out there. Like the way you probably think of yourself, or the way that you describe yourself in your head, might not be the same as Tom, Dick and Harry. But you know, if you are hearing these words and you feel like that's a bit like me, I want to know what it's like being you as well. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what makes people tick. By tick, I don't mean like, oh, explode, but like what makes you end up making the decisions you make to get to a certain point. Just like how I said, if I have a conversation and she's told me that I said something wrong, I try and say I'm not going to say anything again next time. But that's not necessarily always the right thing. Maybe there is situations where that's applicable and it's the right thing to do, like just don't say anything. You know, there's this famous quote that says, if you don't have anything nice to say, just keep quiet.
Yeah.
But also, you don't want to just keep quiet when it comes to expressing your true opinions just because they're going to hurt someone and they're not nice. You know, at some points it is necessary to say or share your opinions, but it's just about navigating when to do this and when to do that. So I would like to know how people like kind of get themselves out of these little boxes they've kind of put themselves into due to the experiences that they've been through. And yeah, I think by talking to each other we kind of realize we're similar in that way.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious to know if people are similar in that way to us.
Yeah.
Or we're just like...
Because we talk about a lot of things and we delve into topics like that, but we don't actually know if people would think of the same situation the same way as we do, or feel the same way about specific situations as we do. An example will be like that topic of like, what place would you place your mother in this hierarchy as a husband? For the longest, I've always known like you just have to put your wife first. So yeah, the scenario is basically you've got your wife, you've got your daughter, and you've got your mother. So, you know, if you needed to kind of put someone right there at the top, I guess it's the way the question's asked as well. Like, who would you put up there? And for me, I've always known it's like the wife, you know, whoever your wife is.
If you're a girl, you have to think about it as husband, dad, son.
Yeah.
Dad, son, and...
Yeah, of course, you know, like,
father.
just make it, like, align with whoever you're dating or whatever. But the main perspective I was looking at it from was, like, the dating perspective of things. So I would say, you know, the wife goes on top. You know, no matter what the situation is, because that kind of helps you choose a partner in it.
Yeah, that's the person you choose. That's the person you have no choice. Not you do have. That's the person you actually have a choice with. With the others, it's kind of like unconditional love in a way, because that's the person who gave birth to you, and the other one is the person who you've given birth to.
Exactly,
and they're your blood.
Yeah, and the weird thing is we didn't need to discuss that for us to know. But obviously we did discuss it later on, like, yeah, of course I think the answer is this.
Yeah.
But there are people who will different mindsets.
Yeah.
Like I was shocked to hear people say you put your mom
Another
first.
order.
And some people will say the daughter first. I'm like,
yeah. And not to say they're right or wrong, but it differs from our opinion.
Yeah.
Which then in my eyes, I'm not saying it's wrong, but yeah, I just disagree.
Yeah, yeah. And I find that interesting, like, to discuss that with those people, to see where their head is at, like, where they're coming from. And it goes to show as well, as like, through life experiences and what you're currently going through in your situation, you could be, maybe, God forbid, you could be losing your mom. So for you, mothers are a really sensitive topic. So maybe you would rank your mother higher based on that. Or maybe you're just a first time mom or dad and you really feel like this is like the most important person in your life, and that's how you're looking at it as well. You're looking at like, oh, who would I save? Obviously I'd save my daughter, you know what I mean. But I think as a whole, like in general, for me personally, I think that you should choose wife no matter what. We're not going to get into that, but if you do want to get into that, you can
get into it in another video then.
Why don't you just comment what you think, but that's what I think anyways.
Yeah. So what we're gonna be talking about is the things that we talk about, kind of like things like this. Like, obviously now we're much older. When we're younger, we're exposed to a lot of the same experiences. We used to go everywhere together, and even right now, as we're older, if given the choice, we'd rather do things together. But as you get older, you just have to become more independent. You have to separate. You have to do your own individual things. Not necessarily that we want to do our own we are individuals. We do like doing individual things, but we do also like to be together. So when we kind of sit down, we kind of share experiences that we've not each had.
Yeah, and people find it some people find it like really nice and comforting, and some people find it so strange, like how can you share so much of your life with someone? But I guess that's something we can maybe get into in another video, like of our life experience and like kind of what we've gone through to kind of maintain that togetherness, because we actually enjoy, holding hands through everything, going through everything together. So yeah, and so to some people they're like, what?
Like that's creepy. Like, why don't you be individuals?
Yeah.
But we don't see each other as oh, you're not an individual.
Yeah, you're still an individual.
Yeah, I don't see her as like me, but it's definitely someone who represents me. As much as I don't see her as me, I know the whole world, most of them, they kind of group us in together anyways. So I represent her, she represents me, So when we're out there, we know we're representing each other. So even some of our decision making, we always have to consider each other because we share the same face.
Exactly. We'll get deep into it, but it's almost like just a friendship or like a commitment. Just a commitment to one another.
It's like a relationship.
Not in a weird sexual way, but we're just like really close.
Yeah.
And I think anyone can do it. I think everyone can be the same. If anything, I think life will be better for everyone if we all had a commitment to someone.
Yeah. If you could put up with someone to the level that we have to put up with, and by put up, everyone has hard times. And I'm not saying, we're like putting up with hard times with each other. But it is a lot of work. It's not easy. You don't get to be like this just because it's like, yay.
Exactly. But you can make it easy. If you grow up with something all your life, it just becomes natural. It becomes part of life. And, we could easily make a decision tomorrow, like, to walk away from each other. But why the heck will we do that? We've had many opportunities to be those people. But this is what we've chosen to be like. We want to tackle a lot of big things. Yeah. But mainly, this is it. Like, just sharing ourselves.
Yeah. Because I think everyone has something to contribute towards society. And everyone brings something unique. So we're just taking our unique take and sharing it with you guys. And, it may be the same things that you've heard before. But there'll always be a different twist. So that's what we're putting out there.
If anyone has any questions, if there's anything that you guys want to hear about concerning us,
to talk about
anything, they want us to talk about, or anything, any challenges you want us to try, just list them down in the comments. Our DMs are open if you can find them. So thank you for watching.
God bless you, and
Talk